Hi, my lovely Yejins. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Click subscribe, it's free, and you automatically become part of the fam. Okay, so I posted a video spontaneously one day asking you guys to leave some of your K-pop confessions. Y'all seem to love the tea, the mess and the receipts on K-pop. And so today I will be responding to some confessions y'all left me on the video. Let me just say honey, I received 176 comments and y'all are amazing, honestly thank you. Okay, so yeah, thank you. If your comment wasn't featured in today's video, don't fret. I'll be making another in the near future, so stay tuned. Okay, then Yejins, hold your teacups cause this is going to be a juicy long ride. Okay, then the first confession which will be on the screen is from the user Salman Balandang. I apologize if your name is pronounced wrong. How they say, quote, my confession is I had been a G-high simp and still proud to be. Okay, C's.
Boys gonna get it.
Yes, I agree, and that's on period. Okay, yes. I won't lie, I'm not a NCT stan, but G-high can get it. Okay, homeboy can get it. Yeah, he seems like a chill guy, and yes, he's do your thing cause he's a nice dude. It's a judgment free zone. Her. Okay, yes, I won't lie, some idols are attractive, so yeah. Okay, next up, user Stray Squirrel says when I first heard the name Momoland, I thought it was a reality show or something about Twice as Momo, or maybe a Sabunet with Momo as the center. Since I wasn't a huge Twice stan at the time, I never bothered to look into it, and I spent 2 whole months thinking Momoland was a show about Momo. Then I saw Momoland's Boom Boom stage on my recommended, and felt like a clown when I realized that Momoland is a girl group. Okay, this one was so hilarious and comical I just had to add it. Sees, you gave me a good laugh, because I can relate. I feel like we can all relate to mixing up members and groups together. Yeah, Momo and Momoland sound so similar, so I can see something getting confused, not to mention Momo debuted a year before Momoland. So that must have been a double confusion. Hikey Loki, Momo having a show called Momoland would be a concept I would like to see. Yeah, haha.
I would like to see it.
That cracked me up. So yeah, so thank you for sending that confession. Mini story time similar to Stace Carol. Love your profile pic, by the way. When I got into K-pop I thought Mamamoo and Momoland were the same groups. Their names are so similar, I was like, what confusion overload. So sees, I can relate. The funniest thing is once we realize we were wrong, we realize the two groups aren't that similar. So yeah, really like that confession. Okay, y'all, the lovely Eversus said, quote, learned what the word moans mean after accidentally clicking on a Sana moan video. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm shook, literally shook. Okay, so I'm going to assume English isn't your first language, but honestly sees, I can't judge, because you learned the meaning of the word, but in this context, wow, chilly. Okay, so Sana is a super beautiful girl. I don't even know why there was such an inappropriate video online, but I digress. I ain't gone line. Do your thing, Eversus, do your thing. I think we can all relate to clicking on a video accidentally.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Disgusted
and being shocked it happens, and for that, I can't judge. I will say that I asked you guys to put super juicy confessions, and I think this user takes the cake for the juiciest and brutally honest opinion, so cheers to that. Okay, the next confession is from the lovely user whose username is in Korean. Says, quote, sometimes when I'm walking down my hallway at my house, I pretend that I'm an idol walking to receive my award at Mama. This is so cute and hilarious. Do your thing, girl. Okay, sometimes it be like that. Sometimes we're standing in our house and we start putting on a fake performance. We pretend we are an ITZY or G friend member. This confession is relatable, and I know most of you watching this video can relate. I totally can have. In fact, let me know if you'll have done this before, and well, let's laugh together in the comment section, because this is pretty relatable. K-pop is so fun that we fans can have fun on stage and pretend we are receiving awards. I love it. User Ginny Love says her confession: still to this day, I wonder why girls' generation is sometimes called SNSD, like they don't have the letter D in their name, so what's the point? Somebody help me. Yes, honestly, when I saw this comment I agreed so much. This is so true. I've always wondered this, but I think SNSD is their Korean pronunciation of the group or something, so yeah. But before I found out this info I thought the same thing, so yeah. User Shruti left their confession saying, I never knew Gangnam Style was a K-pop song until I got into K-pop. Okay, so yes, I agree. Honestly, I feel like most of us were exposed to K-pop by Gangnam Style, BTS, Girls' Generation, Big Bang 21, etc. Honestly, it's crazy because Gangnam was a big hit internationally in US, UK, and in Korea. Despite the song not being in English, it truly shows that a good song is a good song. I remember the iconic dancing in the chorus, dancing with my friends and reciting the English parts. It's so funny because back then I would have never predicted I would be into K-pop and making a YouTube channel. This confession brought back a ton of nostalgia. So yeah, I agree, Gangnam Style was in a different language, and until you get into it K-pop yourself you don't realize it's a Korean song. Okay, so Isabella Cheryl says I don't like IZ**o any new music. Love IN Rose. Yes. Sees, I feel like this is a kinda mini unpopular opinion because it seems like Fiesta and Violeta are fan favorites, but really and truly their debut slaps. So yeah, I agree. The user Lizeth says I want a stangy friend cause I love Fever and I saw an interview that they were on and I found them so funny and nice and I picked a bias and everything, but I just can't seem to like any of their other songs. Like their songs seem to like IDK, but Fever is a whole ass bop. Sinbi also kinda intimidated me, lol. Like IDK, I was watching another interview and she intimidated me so much, and IDKY. I don't hate them though, I promise. Okay, now this is a confession. I semi-agree because similar to UG Friends, music isn't my thing. Their fairy songs like Crossroads, Rough and Time for the Moonlight are my music taste, and I was always super bummed because of their outfits, and their award show stages are phenomenal, like really good, but honestly, their music wasn't my thing. Friend music reminds me of an anime theme song or something off a fairy tale movie. Honestly though, similar to you, that stopped me from hardcore standing them, but honestly, their releases in 2020 are more my style. Mago was great, and I hope they continue in that direction. Apple was also great, but I didn't vibe with it was much, so yeah, give their newer tracks a go. Also Sinbi is high key a little baddie, she's super pretty, and she a great dancer too. She kinda gives me Ryujin vibes, which is ironic considering she and Ryujin are friends and Sin treated Ryujin to ice cream when they were hanging out together. Honestly, she seems super nice, and most idols that have intimidating vibes are the complete opposite and are complete sweethearts. Hopefully you're not as intimidated by her, she's so sweet. Honestly, Lizeth also says there has to be some idols who are not so great people in real life. I feel like we don't know idols as much as we think we do, and like some of them have to be rude in real life. Like I'm talking homophobic, racist, sexist, everything. We just don't know it yet because they have this perfect image to make every one of all minorities like them, so they get more fans and more money. Yeah, I agree. I think it's quite obvious at this point. We've seen with Jimin of AOA, Seungri and Irene to a lesser extent have done some questionable things. The truth is idols are human and a lot of them are good at hiding their true nature. I would like to think most idols are good people, or as good as we can be as humans, but with Jimin and her bullying and Seungri, it's so scary knowing that idols behave this way. Idols are human, but the industry loves to promote their idols as pure people who can do no wrong. So honestly, I feel like not putting idols on a pedestal and treat them like a friend or a normal human being, even if you really love your fave. Yeej is my fave or mild bias, but doing this in moderation is key. The user also says, I don't find shipping that bad, as long as you don't like it, shove it in idols' faces. Like I'm not gonna come at you for shipping Liskook or something. Just don't go around commenting on all of their posts asking about when they are gonna get married or something. Another user Ho4Jimin left a similar one confession saying, I watch ship videos consisting of a member of a group which I stan and another member of a group which I want to stan. I've been doing it since I started getting into K-pop. Since I watched a Liskook ship video when I was only a fan of Blackpink, and it kinda introduced me to the other members of BTS. I feel it helps me cause I can put two idols together, and since I already know one it helps me memorizing their names. I'm really bad with names. But I don't ship the members, it just kinda helps with memorization. Honestly, I like both confessions, because there was brutally honest. I know for a fact some people have shipped idols, but they don't go out of their way to announce it. The truth is there are idols who I found would look good together, but at the same time the extent some Liskook shippers go to is absurd. Sure, make an Instagram post dedicated to them, but commenting Liskook on V lives on their Instagrams, harassing Lisa or Jungkook and telling them your soulmate is Lisa or whatever is super weird. So yeah, I feel like shipping is okay and it's not completely horrible, but some people go too far and people need to stop. She also says, there were a lot of people in the comments saying they do this, but I also pretend to be an idol and have a whole group, usually it's that I'm a part of, and like we accept awards and everything, and are on variety shows, and like play with each other. LMAO, yes, this is a reoccurring theme. A lot of y'all pretend to be a K-pop idol, or like you're receiving an award. I find it super cute, and I think we can all relate. Okay y'all, there are a couple confessions left, so stay tuned. User Hannahs8 says, quote point, I know this might have been saying before, but if you're going to have a group with no positions, Luna for example, don't act like half of the group doesn't exist. We saw all of the members are very talented with their solos, but some of them barely get any lines or screen time, even though the group has no positions. It really seems like they do. For example, Yeojin may be my bias, but her voice is genuinely so good, as you saw in Kiss Later, but she barely gets any lines, and if she does they are rapping lines. Sorry if this was long lol. Okay. So no worries. Yes, I agree. I feel like with a lot of younger 4th general groups, some groups are debuting with no positions, which is fine, but honestly I prefer groups with positions as a fan. Especially if you're getting into a group, it's nice to know which member is the main dancer or the main rapper or lead singer, etc. With groups like Rocket Punch, TXT and Luna, they don't have set positions and it's getting weird. Yeah, I feel like the user stated a lot of the time it's clear which member has a lead or main position, like with Luna, Chu is clearly the main vocalist and Kim Lip is the lead dancer, etc. In Luna's case, they have so many members, and it seems like Gao and Vivi and Yeojin get pushed aside with a group very large like Luna. Positions would be more useful in my opinion. I agree, Yeojin is super cute, her dancing is probably her strongest point, and I hope BBC is able to push her in the near future. That being said, Rocket Punch and TXT seem to have better management with member treatment and line distributions, but that could come down to the group size. So yeah. Next up is the user Fashion Queen DC. They say, I've been a Cheshire since 2015, so when the new members joined I absolutely hated them, mostly Elkie for some reason, and when I saw Yoonbin in dramas and an Elkie cover I stopped hating them, but with Red Velvet, I never hated Yeri. She is, and will always be my bias wrecker. P.S. I was toxic. Okay, first off, thank you for realizing this. Seeing a fan recognize their past toxic behavior is amazing. And you go girl, we love self-acceptance. Okay, so this video is coming to an end, but I thought I would showcase it a few more users. So yeah, okay, so the user Ross Burns left a confession saying, I used to hate Blackpink solely because they got more attention than my then alts, CLC. As a hardcore Blink, I can't believe how shallow I was. Okay, so similar to the last confession, you realized you were toxic. It's never okay to hate on any group. Ironically, you're now a Blink, which is great. I like this confession because sometimes K-pop fans can have internalized hate or prejudice for more popular groups. The fact that you now stan Blackpink is great, and the character development we love to see. Fake Macninayan left a comment saying, okay, so I feel awful for saying this, but when I first started listening to Stray Kids I hated Jisung and Felix for like 4 or 5 months. I hated Felix because I thought he had a resting B face and he looked boring, so I would skip him in interviews and refuse to give him a chance. For Jisung it was even dumber. I hated Jisung because he's so unbelievably talented, and I simply thought it wasn't fair that he's so good at everything, so I hated him. Now I adore them both, and Felix is even my bias. I can't believe I was stupid enough to hate them both. TBH. Okay, so as someone who's somewhat familiar with Stray Kids, I honestly love this confession. Han is honestly amazing. His rapping is super good and yeah, he's very talented. He also happens to be a Virgo. Coincidence? I think not. But I digress. As for Felix, I won't lie, I feel like he has the opposite of a resting bee face. He has a very cute face, but when he opens his mouth it's so damn deep, like damn. Anyway, yeah, they're great people. I feel like we can relate to not initially gelling with a member only to find out they're super sweet and we misjudge them. I feel like it's pretty common to feel this way. Crackpointdaddy1616 funny username by the way. Point Hatter says I don't like Taehyung's voice and Mark's face makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, if you're referring to V from BTS. His voice is super deep, it's okay, but no offense, his English releases can get unbearable at times and I say that as non-offensively as I can. He's a nice dude, but his tone is so deep and rich it's a little jarring. Marks has in my opinion a very young and youthful face, because he's quite young. Yeah, he honestly looks super young. That may intimidate you in some way. Miriam Drayton says my confession is I don't know if I'm the only, but I hate when idols cut their hair just for the stylist to put these ghetto ass extensions in their hair.
Period! 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 Period!
It bugs me when I see idols perform and the extensions aren't mixed in right. IDK, how else to describe it? Okay, you're live been waiting to put these confessions in this video, but now feels like the right time. Idols and bad extension is a common duo. Honestly, I don't know what the hairstylists are drinking, because the hair ain't it. I feel like it looks a little choppy. If y'all watch Sejin's from Idol Studio Tune performance, her hair extensions looks bad, no offense, and yeah, it's a shame, because nicer fitted extensions would look so good. Layat, I apologize if your username is pronounced wrong. Says I thought Momo from Twice was the leader of Momoland. Okay, so it seems like most of y'all have mistaken Momo for a Momoland member. Hatter, it makes sense. I suppose they also say I thought Tita was Korean and Enaz was Japanese. Yeah, honestly I feel like I sometimes can't distinguish the nationalities of some idols, like Jaehyeo for the longest time looks foreign to me, or half Korean and half something else. But does Tita look Korean? To be honest, if I didn't know she was Indonesian I would have thought she was Korean or something. In Denai's case, I feel like she looks pretty Korean. Someone like Onda from Everglow looks super Japanese to me, but I digress. They also say weekly fans and secret numbers stands fan wars are so annoying, you'll need to stop. I just accept they are both great groups. Jeez. Yeah, fan wars in general need to be denormalized. We are all like K-pop and there to celebrate our faves, so why not be together rather than in constant battle, you know. Let's be together y'all. Next up is the user Jisse. They say, another confession. I thought SNSD, GWSN, and WJSN were all subunits of Girls' Generation. Now I know they are way different from each other. Honestly, same. I feel like GWSN and WJSN are so similar they have the same letters it gets kinda confusing. I agree though, the three groups are a little different. Jasmine says Hyunjin is Luna's ace. Honestly, Hyunjin is a very underrated talent. Why, she's a pretty good dancer and she isn't talked about as much. Granted, Luna has 12 members and they are stacked with good dancers, but Hyunjin pretty good. She tends to be left out of the good dancers discussion. I feel like she was so talented, and if she improved her stage presence she would be on fire. Okay, so one of my very good YouTube friends Tina says I used to ship Liskook. Hatter, honestly I love the brutally honest confession. Yeah, I too have shipped, well not shipped, but found certain idols good together. That being said, like I said earlier, there's no inherent problem with shipping, as long as it doesn't go too far. The user Christine Newjump says, Q-Bent is trying to make Ian CLC another Hyunjin. Okay, I like this confession. Ian is a member of CLC, by the way. She's the main rapper, and honestly considering CLC fate isn't looking too good now, I wouldn't be surprised if this is true. Ian has a similar nasal rapping to Ian, so honestly she could be regardless. I hope if Ian does go solo she finds success. CLC never really hit the success jackpot. No offense, it would be great if Ian was able to find success in her solo career. Even if going solo is harder, I would love it for her. The same user also says I feel like Freen's main company Source Music would barely experiment with the girls concept for a long time, so it was hard to defend Freen from comments like their music sounds all the same until recently, where they have come out with songs like Apple and Mango. And I'm not sure if this is a coincidence, but the shift in concept began when they came under big hit and Also, congrats on nearly 400 subs. Okay, so first off, thank you so much. Yeah, my channel growing super fast. Yeah, I agree, G-Friend are making good music now, but I felt like some of their tracks sounded very similar, which is fine, but I don't exactly gel with all their tracks. Okay, so last but not least we have the user Irene. They say Vernon looks scarily like my cousin. Okay, wow, your cousin is a very lucky fella, and it nice that he looks like a pop idol. I love when relatives look like K-pop idols, it's super cool, so yeah, I like it a lot. Okay y'all, that concludes today's video. Thank you to every one single person who left a comment. I appreciate every one of you. If your comment wasn't featured, I will be making several parts in the future, so stay tuned. And you may be featured for those who watched this whole video. Another thank you. I love you Yejin so much. Be sure to click like if you enjoyed today's video, and be sure to leave below your thoughts on the K-pop confessions I used in today's video. I love you Yejin. See you amazing people very soon.